Hey guys, this is Pam Baldwin here. So this week on my blog, I am sharing the details of my Week in the Life album for 2015. And there are quite a few spots where I've taken existing filler cards that I love and turned them into journaling cards or added more space to them to be able to include my story. So I thought I would give you just a really quick video tutorial to show you how I did that and what I used to do that with. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. On this page, you can see in the bottom left corner there is a journaling card that says evening. So that evening card was actually originally a 4x6 card from the AM/PM digital story kit. It looks like this. This is the digital version that you see on your screen right now, and it's sized to 4x6. And what I did was resize that to a 3x4 card and then just included a lot more space at the bottom to be able to include my story so that it ended up looking like this. So I'll show you how I did that really quickly here. First of all, we're just going to go up to the top left-hand corner. I'm using Photoshop Elements version 13. I'm going to make a new canvas, a blank file, and I'm going to size this as a 3-inch wide by 4-inch tall card that has a resolution of 300 pixels per inch. So now that I've done that, I'm going to just click and drag the evening card up from the bottom onto my new canvas, and you can see when I do that, in version 13 in particular, it automatically resizes any images that you're dragging up onto your canvas to fit the width of, or the height, whichever is the largest dimension, of your new canvas. There are previous versions that don't automatically resize it. Some of them, I think version 12 I've heard, when you do that same technique that it doesn't resize it at all. And so if you're starting with an image that's way bigger, you might have to do a little bit of work pulling in the corner handles here to get it to fit your page. But just make sure if you're doing that, that you're pulling on the corners and not on the tops or sides, because that will distort your image. So just make sure that when you're resizing to the canvas, you're pulling on the corner handles, not anywhere else. Okay, so here we've got the 4x6 card drawn up onto a 3x4 canvas, and what I'm going to do to fill in the rest of this space is just pick the eyedropper tool, or the color picker tool, on the left hand side from the toolbar. Click on the dark blue area of this card so that it is now picked up as a foreground color in the color palette that you can see on the left bottom of the toolbar. And I'm going to grab my paint bucket and make sure that over in the layers panel I'm clicking on the background layer, because what I want to do is replace the color of the background to match the existing card that I've added on there, and just click on the white space and that will fill it all in. So now I have a 3x4 card using the same word art from the 4x6 card, and I can do whatever I like with this to go ahead and add in my journaling on top. So I will just show you, let me see if I can pull up something here. So what I did when I was actually going through the process of documenting our week was take a little bit of time in the evenings and make some notes and jot down some thoughts about what had happened during the day so that I wouldn't forget. Having it typed out like this made it super easy, so now I can just copy and paste my text right onto the cards. Okay, so this is the section here about our Monday evening. I'm just going to copy it, right click, copy, shrink it back down again. I'm going to make a text box on this card to fill in that space. I'm going to make my text white, and I'm going to make it probably a size 10. We'll see how that fits to get started. And right click again and just paste my text selection, and it's right there in the space. It fits pretty well. I think the other thing that I did on my original card was just to go ahead and add the time in as well as a typed space above. So there's just one quick example of how you can use some of the digital cards and rearrange them to suit your needs. So changing a 4x6 card into a 3x4 card, for example, and still keeping that awesome word art that is incorporated into the card. So here's another example. This one is actually a 3x4 card that I have enlarged to be 4x6, and I'll show you how that came together. So here's the original card. This card is from the Gatherings digital story kit. And again, I'm going to go ahead and make a new canvas, but this time I'm going to make it a 4x6. And same thing, I'm going to click and drag the card up onto the canvas. And one of the things that I wanted to do with this one was to kind of play with the position of the elements a little bit so that I have lots of room below to go ahead and add my journaling. And I even don't mind if it kind of, some of the words kind of fall off the edge of the page a little bit. So I'm going to try playing with it in that position there. Same thing, use the color picker tool, click on the dark color of the card. This obviously works best when the background is a solid color. It's a little trickier to do when you're looking at patterns or working with patterns. I think I'm going to expand this just a little more because I like having the whole thing. There we go. So I've got the card kind of positioned up towards the top left side just a touch, and now I have tons of space down below to go ahead and include my journaling. So again, on this card, one of the things that I did was play with the position or the rotation of the text as well. I'm just going to copy and paste this selection to show you how we did that. Okay, so again, we're going to build a text box here. I'm probably going to have to play with the size of the font, make it a little smaller because there's a lot more written content on this one than there had been previously. So right click and paste. So one of the things you can see happening here is that I need to adjust the position of the text. So what I mean by that is some of it is falling underneath the layer that has the card instead. By clicking on the text layer and dragging it up so it sits above the digital card, everything shows up on your page there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the text here a little bit just to kind of give it a different look and play with the direction a bit. It'll be fun. So I have the select tool highlighted, the move tool up on the left, top left there. It looks like an arrow. When I click on the text selection, again the box appears with the handles on the outside. And if I hover over one of the outside corners, you'll see that it turns into rounded arrows. Clicking and holding the mouse down while it's selected that way means that I can rotate the text until it's approximately in line or moving in the direction that I want it to. That should pretty much do it. So that is just a quick tutorial. Here's the original that I ended up actually printing. And I did the same thing too, just by typing the time and using those corner handles to rotate it so that it was in a position and just lined up along the vertical edge of my text box there. So have fun with it. Thanks, guys.